record on there. So, you know, we're in our quarantine and we're kind of in this phase of we're starting to move to kind of the next steps. So we've all been in this little bubble for the past 6 weeks, and now things are starting to change. Some of us are ready, some of us aren't ready. And I see a lot more conflict happening in the future. So go ahead and close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. If you have a pillow or a yoga blanket you can sit on to make your hips a little bit higher than your knees. Make that a little bit more comfortable for yourself. But go ahead and close your eyes. Roll the shoulders up by your ears, back and down, and just relax. Maybe palms facing up in that receiving position. So the term to describe the peaceful warrior is relaxed vigilance. What does this term mean to you? How can we be strong in how we feel, yet calm in what we say? Just kind of breathe into that. What does that look like for you? What image comes to mind? Or what movie plays in your head? Relaxed vigilance, to me, means learning to let go of our need to control. And this comes from our ego. So many times we choose to focus on other people as a way of distracting ourselves, distracting the inner work that we still have left to do. And this comes from our ego. So how can we come from a humble place in our life and in our yoga practice? What does that look like and feel like for you? Just breathe into that. Go ahead and open up the eyes. So the first exercise we're going to do is called the breath of fire. You might have seen this before in other classes, so I'll kind of explain it to you first and show you how to do it. So this is the ego eradicator exercise. So I take my hands up to a 45-degree angle and I give myself 2 thumbs up. So I've got my 4 fingers curled in. And what I do is I pump the breath. So there's 2 different ways to do breath of fire. One is through your nose and one is through the back of your throat. So through your nose is, and you'll see that I need to blow my nose. So if you got a little phlegmy in there, good idea to clear that. So through the nose is great, but if you can, through the back of the throat is even better. So I start by my Darth Vader breath, like I'm fogging a mirror. And then I close the throat and do that same breath. So it feels kind of weird at first, but that's the way to do it. So it's either through the nose or through the back of the throat. And you can really hear yourself when you're doing the back of the throat. That's how you know you got it. So we're gonna hold this for about a minute. And when we do this, I want you to focus on letting your ego go and coming to a more humbling place. So go ahead and take the arms up at 45-degree angle, close the eyes, and then go ahead and start to pump. 1 minute and go. So when I'm pumping, I'm sucking my belly in on the exhale. Keeping the arms at that 45-degree angle and keeping the thumbs pointed straight up towards the sky. Five, four, three, two, one. Inhale, bringing the arms up high. Let the thumbs touch, fingers towards the sky like this. Squeeze, hold the breath, and squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. And then exhale. Bring those arms slowly down by your side, resting on the thighs, face up. Just kind of notice how you move that energy around. Beautiful. We're going to do that for 1 more minute. Arms up high, 45-degree angle. You're welcome to close the eyes and then go ahead and start to pump. 1 minute, go. Keeping the arms up high, even when you want to bring them down. Push through it. Three, two, one. Inhale, bring the arms up high. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. Hold the breath. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then exhale, let it go. Nice and slow, bringing it down. And again, just feeling this energy that you've moved. So for those of you that came in late, that's the breath of fire. This is our ego eradicator. So when we find ourselves focusing on other people and their lack or where they're at in life or comparing, this is our ego coming in. So if you ever feel this, you can just do the breath of fire for 1 minute, kind of calm yourself down. All right, so second step, how do we move forward as a peaceful warrior? Cultivating a strong and grounded mind and body. So the next kriya we're going to do is a breath meditation to strengthen the mind and also strengthen the immune system. So your left elbow is going to be bent right next to your body. You've got your ring finger and your thumb touching. So it'll look like this. Right hand, index finger covers the right nostril. So we're going to do breath of fire for 3 minutes in this pose right here. So if you get overwhelmed with the breath work, that can happen sometimes where you feel lightheaded or you even feel out of breath because you're working so hard. That's okay. Just take a deep breath, kind of calm yourself down and get back into it. The whole idea is we really do want to push ourselves for that full 3 minutes, even if we don't like it. So again, left hand, ring finger and thumb touching, right hand over the right nostril. So go ahead and close your eyes and start to pump the breath for 3 minutes. And again, this is only coming out through our left nostril. And I'm going to read a little bit to you while you pump. So this kriya is all about strengthening the mind and the immune system. In order to be healthy, we must have moral and mental strength. We are born with inherited strength, and our projected strength is created or blocked by ourselves. To have strong projected strength, we must consciously work out what we are using to block it. So this is all about being strong in our minds and in our bodies. And we're about 1 minute in. 2 more minutes. Keep going. This is what Kundalini is all about. It's about pushing through when you want to give up. Watching loved ones or peers traverse a path littered with stumbling blocks can be immensely painful. We instinctively want to guide them towards a safer track and share with them the wisdom we have acquired through experience. All human beings have the right to carve out their own paths, however, without being unduly influenced by outside interference. To deny them the right, that right is to deny them enlightenment, since true insight cannot be conveyed in lectures. You guys have 1 minute. Keep going. Each individual must learn independence and illumination by making decisions and reflecting upon the consequences of every choice. In allowing others to walk their paths freely, you honor their right to express their humanity in whatever way they see fit. Although you may not agree or identify with their choices, understand that all people must learn in their own way and at their own pace. The events and circumstances that shape our lives are unique because each of us is unique. What touches one person deeply may do nothing more than irritate another. Therefore, we are all drawn to different paths, the ones that will have the most profound effects on our personal evolution. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Lift the arms up high. Let the thumbs touch like this. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. Hold the breath. And then exhale. Letting go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up high. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. Suspend the breath. Thumbs touching. And exhale. Letting go. Closing the eyes. Beautiful work, yogis. Just noticing all the energy that we've moved through our bodies, from the base chakra all the way up to our crown. And with our hatha practice, we're going to bring that energy back down and ground our bodies. If you feel compelled to intervene when watching other human beings plodding slowly and painfully down a difficult path, try to empathize with their need to grow autonomously and make their own way in the world. Should these people ask you for your aid, give it freely. You can even tell them about your path or offer advice in a conscious, loving way. Otherwise, give them the space they need to make mistakes, enjoy the fruits of their labors, revel in their triumphs, and discover their own truths. Just breathing into that, remembering that we're all on our own paths and everything is as it was meant to be in this very moment. If you need to shake out your legs, you're welcome to shake them out. We're just going to be in this seated position a couple of minutes, so you can change the interlace of your legs if you want. Just going to start by doing a few hip circles. Doesn't matter which way you go. Inhale as we come forward. Exhale as we round out the spine. Really just going as slow as you can, no rush. And switch directions. So this flow today that we're gonna do is more of a hatha style flow, so it's slow. So we'll hold the poses for a little bit of time, and this is kind of when your emotions come up, when you really start to feel things. So you'll feel that resistance, like you wanna get out of the pose, but just push through it. Beautiful. Back to center, hands resting right here on your shin, and just a little seated cat-cow. So inhale as I come forward, exhale as I come back. Curling the chin, opening the heart as I inhale. And if you want to put on your favorite music, you're always welcome to. I've got a little music in the background, but I know Zoom is not so great when it comes to music. So if you'd like to play something of your own, you're welcome to. One more of each. And then come back to that neutral spine. Go ahead and roll over onto the hands and the knees. Beautiful. Here, just in a tabletop position. So I'm going to bring my hands forward just a little bit, maybe about 8 inches, 8 to 12 inches, and then bring the hips forward. So I'm getting ready for a yoga push-up on my knees. So we keep the elbows in yoga, slowly lower down. Beautiful. You can kind of inchworm yourself out. So just saying hello to the low back, maybe just a baby cobra to start. I've got my hands right underneath the elbows, and then I'm just lifting up. And when you do this, you can squeeze the glutes, lift the kneecaps, press the tops of the feet into the floor, and take a deep breath. Beautiful. If you've got those knees lifted, you can relax. And then pushing up, coming back to all fours. Beautiful. And sitting back into our child's pose. Oh. One deep breath here. And slowly lift up. Beautiful. Taking your right foot, planting it. Getting ready for a crescent lunge or a warrior one on our knees. So you can lift the arms up high. Like this. Beautiful. And just breathe. Being mindful of where the knee and the ankle are. And being mindful of where the head and neck and shoulders are. Palms facing each other. Feel the energy that you're cultivating between the two palms. And feeling your connection to the earth in this pose. We're going to be doing a lot of grounding lunges today. Inhale, slight back bend, just looking up at the, maybe up at the ceiling if you can. And then exhale, folding over. Coming back into coming back onto our knees. So we're gonna do that yoga push-up again. And again, you can always challenge yourself and come up off of the knees if you want. Slowly lowering down. Baby back bend of your choice, maybe a sphinx or a baby cobra. Remembering to breathe. You want to know how to be a peaceful warrior? Just breathe. And slowly coming back up. Child's pose just for one breath. Beautiful. Rising up and planting the left foot. Crescent lunge or warrior one. Maybe it's snowing where you're at. Snowing here. Perfect time to do yoga inside. Beautiful. Just notice what sensations, what feelings, what emotions arise as we sit with ourselves, which is kind of what this quarantine is all about, right? Sitting with ourselves. Lots of emotions are coming up, lots of trauma. Exhale, slowly lower down. And again, you can take this foot back. We're gonna do a yoga push-up one more time on the knees. Back bend of your choice if you wanna go a little bit higher, maybe up into a cobra. You can do that. Beautiful. And this time we're gonna come up into a downward dog. So you can come up onto the knees first or just pop right back into it, whatever you prefer. Keeping the knees slightly bent. We're still getting warmed up. Maybe walking the dog. And connecting with all 4 points of contact right now. So you've got your 2 hands and your 2 feet. Think about engaging the fingers, all 4 corners of your palms. And breathe. Let's take 3 deep breaths here in our downward dog. Maybe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whatever breath feels good for you. I like that one. It's more of a calming breath. But do what feels good for you in this moment. Beautiful. Slowly take tiny baby steps up to the front of your mat, as tiny and as slow as you can. Coming into a forward fold. Maybe letting the head and neck go, letting gravity open up the spine. Bending into the knees slightly and slowly lifting up. 1 vertebrae at a time, as slow as you can. And then bringing the arms up high, and then bringing them down to the heart center. Beautiful. So we're just here in a mountain pose. You can bring your arms down by the side, closing your eyes, looking down at your feet, seeing where they're at in the world, making sure they're about hip distance apart. Closing the eyes, lifting up all 10 toes, and then placing them back down one at a time. Connecting with all four corners of the foot. And drawing our energy up, energetically lifting as we ground into the earth. Nice strong core, ribs and navel in. Beautiful. Inhale, bringing the arms up high to touch. Exhale, folding over. Nice and slow. Beautiful. If you can't reach the floor, just grab onto whatever you can. You're going to take your right knee, bend it, plant the right hand, open up to the left. So you'll get a really good stretch in the back of your left leg. And if you still can't reach the floor, you can use a little pillow or a block. Beautiful. And switch sides. So left hand comes on the floor, left knee bends, right arm up. Maybe looking up at the hand if you can. And exhale down. Beautiful. Letting the head and neck go. Looking up halfway, hands resting on the shins. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Taking your time, there's no rush. 3 deep breaths here. Beautiful. So our next pose, if you're a beginner, you're welcome to drop down to your knees and then come into the lunge with your right leg forward. If you are more intermediate, go ahead and take your right leg up high, 3-legged dog. Feel that left foot really planted into your mat. Grounding you back down to the earth. As you bring that knee forward, let it hover for 1 deep breath, and then plant your foot. Beautiful. So maybe creating space between the 2 feet, like you're on 2 separate railroad tracks. And when you're ready, crescent lunge if you can, with the back heel lifted. Or you can open up into a warrior 1 if that's a little bit easier for you. So we're going to do a meditation in this for the vagus nerve. So you're going to bring your hands down into cactus, and we're going to hold for 1 minute, starting now. So the vagus nerve is very important. Goes through all the major organs in your tummy. Has to do a lot with our love connection. And also with just calming ourselves down. Bringing our energy down out of fight or flight into rest and digest. So if you ever feel flighty, you're overwhelmed, bringing your hands into this pose. Also, thumbs in, fingers wrapped around. I apologize. So thumbs in, fingers wrapped around, like a fist. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Straighten that leg. Bring the hands up high. Turn the back heel down. Right arm comes out in front, triangle pose. Just opening up the hip. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. Bend into that front knee. Reverse warrior, just a little stretch. Awesome. And windmill the arms down. Downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can do a little vinyasa, flow through, challenge yourself, do a little push-up. And if not, we can just hang out in downward dog. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. Left leg comes up high, or you can drop down to the knees. Let that knee hover for 1 breath, and then plant that foot. Beautiful. Crescent lunge or warrior 1, whatever feels good for you. Bringing the hands into that fist position, so fingers wrapped around the thumb. Arms up high, deep breath in. And then slowly lower yourself down. 1 minute, go. Feeling that vagus nerve. Just bring that peaceful energy through your tummy. About 15 more seconds. Beautiful. Straighten the leg, bring the arms up high. Turn the back heel in. Left arm comes out, triangle pose. Two more breaths here. Closing that book down. Bending into that front knee, downward facing dog. Again, you can do a vinyasa if you'd like, or just hang out here. Thinking about putting a little extra emphasis on the index finger and the thumb. Beautiful. Now slowly walking the feet in. Slow as you can, tiny, tiny steps to the front of your yoga mat. And hanging out here in a forward fold, maybe grabbing the opposite elbows, rocking back and forth from side to side. Beautiful. All right, chair pose. So we're sitting down into that imaginary chair, lifting the arms up, looking down at our feet. If you can't see your feet, push your butt out a little bit more, then you'll be able to see your toes. Maybe lifting the toes, spreading them out, putting them back down. 2 deep breaths. And exhale, release. Beautiful. So if you want to take that pose further, we're going to do eagle. I love this pose. It's very grounding. So I start off by taking left arm underneath right, crossing. Ideally, the palms should touch, but if you can't, you can have them away from each other, or you can hug yourself. Lots of different things. What you want to do is push the arms up and then push them away from you. That's how you're going to get that nice opening in the shoulder blades. So this is great right here. You want to challenge yourself coming into that chair seat, then crossing the right over top of the left, like a little curtsy. So I've got my foot just resting. Ultimate expression is letting the foot go behind you. Or you can just keep that as a kickstand, no big deal. 2 more breaths here. I know you can do it. And then from here, we're going to slowly open up. Warrior 3. Taking that right leg back. You can bring the arms up like an airplane. This is going to be a little bit easier than having them out in front. Now slowly bend into that standing leg, coming into a lunge. Woo. Ah. Beautiful. So I'm here in a crescent or a warrior 1. Bringing the arms down to the mat, coming back into our plank. Yogi Vinyasa, so slowly lower down. Back bend of your choice. And downward facing dog. Do 3 deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe walking the dog. We're a little bit more warmed up now. Beautiful. And again, slowly walking those feet in. Nice and slow. Tiny little steps. And I'm here in a forward fold. Brushing those fingertips along the floor. Chair pose. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. Straighten those legs, getting ready for eagle. Right arm comes underneath. Opposite of whatever you did before. Pushing the arms up and away. Sitting down in that chair. And then if you can, crossing the left over the right, like a little curtsy. Hooking behind the right leg if you can. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. Now slowly come up, uncross, open up, warrior 3. kind of down towards the mat. And breathe. 2 breaths. Beautiful, bending into that straight leg. Sitting back into our crescent lunge or our warrior one. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale, maybe looking up. And then exhale, coming down to the earth. Downward facing dog. And then if you'd like to do a little flow, a little vinyasa, yogi push-up. Coming down into our back bends. And then downward facing dog. Little extra challenge. Wherever you're at, we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Beautiful. Feel how strong and grounded you are in this pose. Slowly dropping the knees down. Beautiful. Just coming back into a child's pose. Just 1 breath. Or 2. Beautiful. Slowly come back up. And then have a seat. Bringing your legs around. So we're going to come onto our backs. Come down nice and slow. Little core workout, never hurt, right? Bridge pose. So I bring my feet in pretty close to my sit bones. Palms facing down. Deep breath in, pushing in, lifting up from the hips all the way up to the shoulders. Now if you want, you can interlace underneath. You don't have to. And then look at your knees. Are they in line with your feet? They could be splaying out a little bit. That's pretty common. So just bring them in. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the quads to really lift yourself up. Beautiful. 1 more breath. If you've got the fingers interlaced, you can let those go. Slowly roll down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Taking your right ankle, crossing it over top of the left knee. Grabbing the back of the left thigh. So I've got both feet flexed. Now some people like to put their hand on this and kind of push away. So it's that opposite action of pushing the right knee away and bringing the left knee in towards you. I found it, rather than physically pushing myself, if I just engage this psoas right here energetically and push that away, I feel like it's more beneficial than physically adjusting. So just think about engaging this psoas, pushing it away as you bring the left in towards you. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Letting that foot come down. If you can, sliding this knee so that your knees are crossed. We're coming into a spinal twist. So if this is too awkward for you, you don't have to cross your legs. Arms out to a T, palm facing down. Inhale, bringing the feet in, the knees in, and then exhale, letting them drop over. Looking over that opposite shoulder. See if you can use your breath here to create space between the rib cage and the sacrum. One more breath here. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Uncrossing, maybe a couple of windshield wipers. 2 on each side. Awesome. Getting ready for one more bridge pose. So walking the feet in, deep breath in, and lifting the hips up. Again, you can interlace, but you don't have to. There's not one right way or one wrong way. They're just different. I know in Pilates, they typically don't do it this way. Maybe taking a moment here in your bridge to notice how much more calm your mind is, how much more at peace you are with these slow movements. It doesn't take very long. So how can I translate this movement, this energy, off of my mat and into my personal life? One more breath here. Go ahead and release those fingers. And then slowly roll down. Beautiful. Crossing the left ankle over top and grabbing the back of the right thigh. Flexing both feet. Energetically push the left hip away from you as you bring the right in towards you. Cultivating that peaceful warrior energy. Relaxed vigilance. How can I be strong in my beliefs, yet calm in how I express them? Releasing that leg, coming into that little cross if you can. Palms out to the side, or you can do like a cactus arm. Bringing the knee in and then letting them fall over. Looking over that opposite shoulder. One more breath here. Slowly bringing the knees back to center, uncrossing, a couple of windshield wipers. And bringing the knees into the chest, curling up like a little tight ball. And rocking up and down the spine. Let's rock through at least 3 times. And come to a seated. Actually, before we do seated, one more thing, inversion. Inversion of your choice. So shoulder stand is kind of like basic, kind of the easiest inversion to do. So you can start off by coming into plow. And the plow is still great too. But then we place the hands on the low back and then lift the hips up. Kind of shimmy myself a little bit so I bring my elbows in a little closer towards the midline. Shifting perspectives right here. Changing our viewpoint. If you are still in your inversion, we're gonna start to come out of it. If you're in a shoulder stand, I like going into plow first. Or coming down into a bridge. That's always fun too. Wherever you're at in your inversion, go ahead and come down. Bring the knees in. And even just doing legs up the wall is great. I should have mentioned that before if you're new to inversions. So go ahead and curl in a tight ball and let's rock up and down the spine 3 times. Coming to a seated position. Awesome. So we're going to end with one more kundalini kriya. So this is a really short kriya to help remove negative energy. So if at any time you ever feel upset or just negative, you got on Facebook and you saw some post that just brought you down or whatever it is, this is really quick and can bring you out of it. So for those of you that came in late, I put my phone number in the chat, and if you want me to send you the kundalini kriyas, I can send these to you, no problem. So, okay, so this kriya, we start with a kind of a weird hand position. Let me grab my book. So the middle finger of your left hand, make sure I got this right. Yeah, the middle finger, I'm sorry, the left middle finger. Okay, yeah, so left middle finger, I was right. And then right ring finger, they hook each other like this. So what do I do with these 2 fingers? Kind of mush them like this. And then the thumbs touch. And then these fingers on the bottom kind of curl in. So I'm just going to explain that one more time. Left ring finger, right middle finger, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Left middle finger, right ring finger, hooking like this. And then these 2 come together, thumbs come together, and then the pinkies kind of hang out inside. All right, so we just rest it right here. Go ahead and close your eyes and just start to breathe. So not a breath of fire, just a natural breathing. Feeling the negative energy just dissipate from your aura. Now, as you're breathing, I want you to start thinking about pulling the hands away from you. So we're engaging those arm muscles. We're not letting go of contact. We're still interlace the fingers exact same way, but just think about pulling as you breathe. Imagine the walls of negativity just being broken down by your dragon breath. Beautiful. Open up the eyes. Next part of the Kriya, taking your hands up to the palms and just pushing up. That's it. You can close your eyes. We're just going to hold this for 1 minute. Keeping the ears away from the shoulders. So in this pose, she's not covering up her eyes. She's kind of just resting a little bit on the outside of the cheekbones and of the eyes. Feeling this happy energy cultivating. Beautiful. Next part of the Kriya, taking your left hand, reaching it over and just pulling with the right as hard as you can. 1 minute. Being mindful of the shoulder. So this Kriya in total only takes 5 minutes. It's very hard to find a Kundalini Kriya that is less than 10. So this is a great one. And again, if you want me to text these Kriyas to you, I'm more than happy to. We're removing tension in the heart space, allowing us to make decisions and live in a place that comes from love rather than fear. And go ahead and switch arms. 1 minute, go. Same thing. Some pictures you're really extending this arm, pulling it, and other ones you're just kind of resting that arm. So it's more about the stretch, whatever it takes to get you into a nice stretch here. Even coming up above the elbow is okay too. Just not right on the elbow. This Kriya is perfect for depression, anxiety, anger, stress, or fatigue. Awesome. Last pose, chest expansion. So just interlacing the fingers. Or what she has in the picture is clasping the wrists if you can. Whatever feels good for you. But if you can clasp the wrists, clasp them. 1 minute. I think I prefer to interlace. It feels like more of an opening, but again, play with it. This pose is going to raise the Kundalini energy from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head, giving us energy, giving us creativity, vitality, sexual energy. One more breath here. Release the hands, rest them on the thighs, face up. Just notice what you feel. The temptation to direct the course of others is a creature of many origins. Overactive egos can convince us that ours is the one true path, or it can awaken a craving to control. But each person is entitled to seek out his or her own road, leading from the darkness into the light. When we celebrate those paths and encourage the people navigating them, We not only enjoy the privilege of watching others grow, we also reinforce our dedication to diversity, independence, and individuality. So coming back to that mantra, that intention of why you all are here, the way of the peaceful warrior. You all are enlightened beings, and that's why we're all here practicing today. But I'm sure we've all had moments where we tend to focus on other people's paths rather than our own. So coming back to that mantra, to that intention, what does the peaceful warrior look like to you? What image do you see in your head? Or what movie plays on the screen? What does the way of the peaceful warrior look like to you? And how can we take our yoga practice off of our mat and into our own lives? Beautiful. You can go ahead and open up your eyes. Bring your hands to prayer position. So in the corner, the right corner of your screen is a little button for gallery view. It's like 9 little squares. Just click on that and then you can kind of see everyone that you're practicing with today. If you want, you can turn off or turn on your camera and say hello to everyone, but you do not have to. Feeling all that peaceful energy that we cultivated today. Giving thanks for all the positives in life, because there are so many things to be thankful for. Take a deep breath in together and out. One more time. Inhale the good shit and exhale the bullshit. Namaste, yogis. And I'll unmute you all so you can say hello or goodbye.
Thank you, Emily. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emily.
Great. Thank you, Emily.
Let's see. Oh, hey, Robin. Oh, and Emily Woonkin. Yay. Ohio girl in there. Yeah, so I put my phone number in the chat. If you don't have it, take my phone number down. If you want any of those Kundalini creations. I'm doing this book. It's called Transitions to a Heart-Centered World. It's a student of Yogi Bhajan who brought Kundalini Yoga to the West. So it's a great book with lots of information about. And yeah, I think this is going to be my last class for a little bit, but I definitely plan to keep doing some type of virtual experience for everyone. And yeah, thank you for coming. Enjoy the
I loved it.
sunny, so stay warm. Maybe get out on the skis. Hi, baby. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope this helped. And just kind of remember to keep those thoughts with you as you scroll on your Facebook. So thank you, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.